Hi everybody! So I'm going to guide you. Through a psychic development experience, okay? To really get you acquainted with your third eye. But the third eye is just a part of the visual aspect of the total message that you're receiving from the spirit realm. Parts of those messages are going to come from your feelings, okay? They're going to come from hunches. They're going to come from memories. They're going to come from not just understanding what is being said or what they are showing me or what are they telling me. We're going to get all the questions out of there, okay? But I don't understand, but what are they trying to tell me? Is get all those questions out of there. We're going to allow them, the spirit realm, to communicate with us, communicate with me, communicate with you in their own special way. Now, spirits don't have voice boxes. They're not human beings. Spirits are energy, and energy works with energy, right? So what part of your dynamic self is energy? Your feelings, your thoughts, your memories are energy. These are your psychic gifts. You already have access to them. You've always had access to them. You've just been putting them into day-to-day life. Very logical, constructed day-to-day life. Now we're going to go outside the box and we're going to tap into something that we don't know about. And we don't have to know about it. And it can come to us, the wisdom, the meaning, the psychic awareness can come to us however it wants to. And it's beautiful. There's no such thing as a perfect psychic experience. There's a really good psychic experience. Wow, that really touched my heart. Wow, that took my breath away. Was that really a psychic experience? Yes, it was. And the reason why a lot of people say, but I don't know that was really a psychic experience. That just felt like me. Well, what do you think the spirit realm is working with? They're working with you. So of course it's going to feel like you. That's what's going on here. You are the medium between the human world and the spirit realm. You're the medium. So it's going to feel like you. But you're going to pick up on things. And don't worry about whether those things are specifically correct. What you're sensing. You're sensing it for a lot of different reasons that maybe we're unaware of why it came that way. And it takes a little bit more digging and understanding and self-discovery to really know why it did come that way. All right, so this is going to be a guided experience. And I was trying to decide where I would guide you. And I think it would be wonderful to introduce you to your higher self. And so I'm going to work with my higher self and the spirit realm, your higher self, or I'm going to work with everybody, all the love in the universe, and I'm going to let them inspire the gift for you and for me, because I can't come up with this by myself. I got to just flow with it. I just got to go with it. Now, what this experience is going to be all about is just simply you just allowing yourself to experience the images. Don't try to see the images, because sometimes when you try to see them, we get lost in trying to see them. So I use the word experience the image, so that way it's not so set on clarity, okay? Well, it's kind of fuzzy, and I'm trying to see it really, really clearly. Don't worry about that. If it's fuzzy, it's meant to be fuzzy, because what you're going to do is experience the image. So I'm experiencing the ocean right now. What is the experience of the ocean like to you? So if you are experiencing the ocean right now, you would be experiencing what the ocean sounds like, what the ocean smells like, what the ocean feels like, what it looks like. Now, all of this stuff may be hazy in your experience of it, but it's still the ocean, and you still resonate with what that is. So psychic development isn't always about super crystal clear clarity. I don't get crystal clear clarity. A lot of the time I just sense things out constantly. feeling this out, feeling that out, touching, feeling around, experiencing. What does this remind me of? What is that doing? Oh, is it, I keep doing things in order to translate the meaning of what is coming to me. And it's not about what it looks like. I think we all know that you can't judge a book by its cover, right? So what it looks like isn't all the message has to share. You could definitely be challenged if you just choose to go by what it looks like. There's some super awesome spirits that will come as terrifying looking things just to see if you're going to work with your heart or if you're going to work with your head. So it's time to work with our heart in order to see beneath the surface of what we see by experiencing what we see. Experiencing is now hearing, smelling, feeling, touching, it's the full package. It's experiencing, not just seeing. So third eye is just part of it all. We use all of our chakras, all of our self in order to have a psychic experience. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and relax here. And I encourage you just to close your eyes and relax with me. And I'm going to just allow the first image to come to me. And I'm going to describe it, and I'm going to encourage you then to experience it in your own way. And the intention is for this journey to give you access to your higher self. Okay. So the first image that comes to me, I see my hand, and I'm very close to a brick wall. And these bricks are not red, they're more of like a tannish color. And it's dark. It's a hallway of some kind. And there's just one single match lit. So I can only see so much. And my hands are touching these bricks. And I'm starting to notice here that this pathway is getting more and more narrow. I feel the need to keep moving down the pathway, this hallway of bricks, and I have to move sideways. I don't have a choice here. I've got to move sideways if I'm going to squeeze through this. The match I discover is not in my hands. It's just been following me. The question is, who's holding the match? And now I realize that I've moved into the hallway so deep and it's gotten so narrow that I'm actually stuck. And now that I'm stuck, I have no choice but to ask for help. There's a bit of a claustrophobic type of feeling. It's a bit of an anxiety. Nobody wants to be stuck in a dark place with only the light of a single match. It almost feels like, in a way, it's got kind of an Egyptian vibe, like it's a mysterious pathway to an old ancient chamber, hidden mysteries type of feeling. So we're just going to take a moment to experience the situation. You can feel the bricks. What do the bricks feel like? Are they rough? Are they smooth? Are they cold? What does the air feel like? Is the air cold? Is it hot, stifling? Are you male or are you female? This is an interesting question because even if you're physically female in this lifetime, you may discover that you're actually male in your experience. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a moment. So I hear a voice from behind me, the one holding the match, There's a male feeling that I'm picking up on. His voice is felt, but his words are not heard. And I'm feeling more and more pinned here. I'm feeling more trapped, more stuck. And I'm finding myself desperate. Help me, help me. And the walls just get tighter and tighter and tighter. Now an inspiration comes, not from this man holding the match, but from the silence. The silence that comes from above my head, it comes down and it tells me to relax. And when it tells me to relax, it's simply an encouragement, like a bright idea. Feels natural. This is the voice of my higher self. This is the voice of your higher self, speaking to you when you're stuck in life, when you need help. What does the voice of your higher self sound like? Now, does it sound like an actual voice speaking in your head, or is it the experience of what a voice might be like? I just felt a voice. I just felt a voice speaking to me. And what I felt the message was about was just simply encouraging me to relax. And it was so meaningful to me that I just relaxed. I didn't question it. Now, as the wall starts to relax with me and the hallway starts to open up, I realize that we're walking through what is the voice box. There's something about walking through a tunnel of communication here, walking through the tunnel that goes from your stomach up past your heart, up through your throat and out your mouth. And I'm starting to realize this tunnel is so much more than that, because it's also connected to the sexual body and the root, the third eye and the crown, the earth star chakra, the soul star chakra, and it goes up and down, front and back, in all sacred directions for all eternity. This hallway goes in all sacred directions for all eternity, even if it only appears to be just the size of a natural hallway. Now the whisper, the inspiration, is for us to relax and trust in where we are guided, even if it doesn't make any sense. Just trust. Now, in evaluating my experience of this scene, of this moment, I am discovering that the man behind me holding the match is my ego. But ego is actually choosing to stand back and give me the room I need to grow, which is admirable of ego. Ego didn't rescue me when I was getting stuck. Ego was simply there. And instead of translating ego, I chose to experience the inspiration from a higher realm. We're all Gonna take a moment here, and we're gonna go and we're gonna give our egos a hug. I often see ego as male, but your ego may turn out to be female. We don't know. May look like you, may look like somebody you know, may look like somebody you don't know, may look like an animal. It's your ego. It gets to be whatever it wants to be, without you deciding what it will look like. Just allow it to appear. Experience yourself giving ego a hug. You know what hugs feel like, right? So, we're going to use what we already know, and we're going to use the hug, and we're going to allow ourselves to feel another body, another form. And we're going to wrap our arms around it. Or if its ego happens to be a kitty cat, we're going to snuggle it somehow, right? But we're going to experience love being shared through that connection from your heart to the heart of your own ego. And say thank you to ego for all ego does for you. Because ego's main purpose is to keep you alive. So we say thank you, ego, for helping me get through each and every day. And I know it's hard on you as it is hard on me, and we're working together to find a way to trust in something beyond ourselves. Allow yourself to feel what this exchange feels like in your heart. This feeling is real. It's actually physically real. Love is physically real. And it's also energy, and it's also spiritual. It's also your ego. It's also you. It's also your higher self. I start to see you and ego become one, and you're choosing to work together as a team, not fight with each other, not let ego control your life, but choosing to work together as a team, working in unison. Now that we are working with our ego instead of against it, or allowing it to control us, we are working with ego. Now we can follow our heart. Okay? Following your heart is also following your higher self's guidance. So we're still in this hallway. There's plenty of room to walk forward here. And the spirit realm is showing me how this guided meditation is to introduce you to simply experiencing the energy feelings of touching a wall, of feeling trapped, of hugging your ego, of loving your ego, understanding how your higher self speaks to you, experiencing what the light looks like in a dark place with a single match. This is you simply getting introduced to psychic gifts through working with what you already know, because the spirit realm is going to work with what is familiar to you in order to tell you a message. And it can start with images just like these. And we aren't going to know what these images mean unless we choose to experience them. And now the images take us places. And if we want to explore those places, we can. Now we're saying, who is this man that's been standing behind me with the match? And you turn and you look at that man and you just wait. Say, boy, you feel familiar to me. You're my ego. That's what you are. Okay, what is the next inspiration? Shall we continue down the hallway? Shall we see what happens next? Maybe the scene wants to become something new. All right, so my higher self is showing me a dark place. So, this place is dark for you. This place is dark for me. What can you see in a dark place? Allow yourself to experience yourself standing in a dark place. Feel your feet standing in a place that is simply dark. And it is dark in front of you, it is dark behind you, it is dark around you. But now, what if I let you decide what your dark place looks like, instead of telling you what it looks like? I want you to actually just stay relaxed here and take a look around in your mind in an actual energy realm. Take a look around your dark place. You may notice light. You may not notice light at all. You may notice a floor. You may notice you're standing on thin air. I want you to take notice of 5 different details about your dark place. If you can't see anything, what other senses do you have? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? If you reach your energy hands out, do you feel a wall? Do you feel a door? Do you feel that this is an open place? Is it a spherical place? Is it a room of some kind? Time for you to investigate. You can even choose to pause the video here if you want to give yourself some time to investigate your dark space. And dark spaces are full of love and light, or they're full of meaning. They're full of new things that we haven't discovered yet. The darkness can mean anything that we won't know until we choose to experience it and the way that it wants to present itself to us today. So you can pause the video and take notice of details and write the details down in a journal. I'm going to relax for just a moment, and then I'm going to keep moving forward. So, I'm in a dark place, and right in front of me there is a glass wall. I can tell that it is glass even though I cannot see it. I experience it as glass. And I find myself, my hand moving around to find a door, because I also feel there's a door here somewhere. And my higher self says, I need you to trust that you know where the door is. And then suddenly there's a snap of the fingers, and the doorway is me. And if the doorway is me, then I can choose to reflect that doorway anywhere I want it to be because of the mirror effect. Because whatever is you is simply a mirror that is teaching me more about my own reflection, and vice versa. And we're all mirrors of each other in unique and different special ways. Sometimes those mirrors aggravate the living daylights out of us, but it's teaching us about who we are. Sometimes those mirrors are so beautiful we don't even have words to describe it, and we're just in awe. Now, if I am a doorway, then I'm also a reflection of a doorway. So I'm just choosing to acknowledge I've already walked through that door and I am moving forward without resistance. There's a lot of emotional shift going on within myself. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this emotional shift and what it means to me, because when you're going through your own psychic journey, you're going to feel things, and it's important to take notice of those feelings, okay? So if you feel anxiety, if you feel love, if you feel sad, that's part of the psychic experience that's teaching you about yourself. It's teaching you about the message. So when I explore my feelings, I discover that the sadness comes from the longing for the experience of freedom. For life to be at my fingertips so easily, I could just say I've already walked through that door, that nothing is holding me back, that there aren't any walls blocking my pathway, that I am free to move forward without resistance and without myself holding myself back in ways that I don't understand. I don't even know half the time that I'm doing it. But in this experience, it's so easy to just make a choice and say, I've already walked through that doorway. How do we parallel that experience with our human world? It's confidence. Now I'm experiencing a message. And the message is coming from way above my head, and it sort of beams down like light through the top of my head. So, the next part of the guided meditation is I want you to take some time to explore what you feel the voice of your higher self is like to you. Does it sound female? Does it sound male? Does it sound silly, humorous? Does it sound gentle? Does it sound like a whisper? Does it feel like water? Does it feel like sparkles? Does it feel like the wind? So now, when you choose to experience what you feel like it is like to have a communication with your higher self, to hear your higher self's voice. And now that is an experience too. It can feel like something. It can sound like something. Sometimes higher selves are very perfumed, like flowers and gardens. They could smell like the ocean, right? They could smell like anything. And we're just simply talking about a communication here. So you can see all the different details that you can access when you close your eyes and choose to experience the spirit realm. This guided meditation is a guided meditation through the spirit realm for all of us to get to know our higher selves. But it's also to introduce you to how you can psychically feel. Without your physical hands, you can actually feel. Cold or hot, you can psychically smell. You can feel fear or feel longing or feel peaceful. You can translate the meaning of anything just by feeling it out and just allowing it to express itself to you. So you're welcome to pause the video if you want to. Keep your eyes closed and take a moment to just simply experience what it is like to receive messages from your higher self. And write down some very specific feelings that you get, okay? So I'm going to relax for a moment here, and then we're going to move to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing is we're still in a dark space. And I'm picking up on the reason why it is dark is because we haven't allowed ourselves to choose to see what is actually here. We haven't given ourselves permission. But that's also part of the mystery that is to reveal itself to us, to each and every one of us in our own unique way. And my higher self is saying that in front of us, we will see our higher self standing. And now what our higher self looks like is also going to be a feeling. We feel like it looks like this. I feel like my higher self has red hair. I feel like my higher self is really tall. I feel like my higher self is very tiny and has wings. Just take the time to be peaceful, to enjoy the mystery, to enjoy the dark. Take the time to feel from your heart what details you're picking up on. You even use your energy hands and touch in front of you. Okay, my higher self is in front of me. Oh my gosh, there's a horse's face. Is that my higher self? Go ahead and continue to explore what comes to you about your higher self. And yes, your higher self can appear as literally anything. Can even appear as you. Can appear as some weird thing you've never seen before, or it could appear as something very familiar. It could be an angel that appears to you. Your higher self is literally a reflection of everything in an infinite universe. And it's going to choose a reflection that is going to be very meaningful to you, is going to be helpful. Now I want to mention this here. If any of you are having difficulty picking up on any details, I want you to choose to give your higher self a hug. Even if you have no idea what your higher self looks like, let's use a different technique to feel that hug. And now your higher self you can receive in your heart through feelings. Just go ahead and experience this beautiful moment. And if you want to, you could pause the video and experience this on your own. Write down some very specific things you're picking up on. Higher self could feel like they're wearing nothing. They're wearing a robe. They're standing there with a book. They're sitting in a meditative position. They look like Buddha. Your higher self, whatever you're picking up on, those are the details that your higher self wants you to receive in order for you to build that relationship. So I'm going to just give it a moment here. Now, the next thing that happens is all the dark starts to turn into pure white. And I'm absorbed into this white. I just feel completely a part of it. Just white. That's all it is. But it feels so bright. And it's that bright light that comes with a new feeling. Something different than standing in a dark place. It feels bright and warm and safe and heavenly. The next experience I have is we're actually walking through the white. And we're actually walking upward on stairs. Now these stairs we can't see, but we can sure feel and experience them. We can tell we are doing this. When you reach the top of the stairs, I want you to feel out what you're experiencing at that level in this place. You've reached the top of the stairs. Now you choose to experience what is there. Use your energy hands to feel around you, sense things, smell, taste, listen. You're going to pick up on details. You could even feel as though you transformed into a princess. You could feel as though you're walking into a golden chamber with happy laughing babies. You could feel anything. And you can take the time to pause the video and again have your own unique experience here. Write down some details that you're picking up on. For me, I feel simply peacefulness here. And I feel that that peacefulness is a gift. It is also who I truly am. It is also my higher self. It is also healing me. It is filling me with positive energy. It's allowing me to feel rejuvenation. It's allowing me to feel free. And I don't need to know what it looks like specifically in the white. I don't need to know what it looks like specifically in the dark, because I can find myself in both places. And finding myself is finding my higher self, is finding reflections of me, is finding wisdom, is finding love in all of its forms. And whatever you find in the dark or in the light is exactly what you need to find, is exactly the gift of what the universe is wanting you to discover today. Now, what you find there tomorrow may be totally different. And it may be different every single day for the rest of your life, because you're always becoming a new person with every moment. So what your needs are in the dark or your needs in the light are going to be different every day. And the way these places make you feel and the messages they have to share with you. And it's okay to relax. It's okay to stand in the dark and then just manifest a couch and just lay down on the couch and say, what does the dark have to share with me today? Next thing you know, a book is put in your hands by somebody. And you say, well, I have no idea what this is. What is this book all about? And you might say, how in the world am I supposed to read a book in the dark? You might just say, okay, well, I don't have to see in the spirit realm to be able to read in the dark. I can just absorb the information. So what are you going to do with that book? And one thing I do with books is either I place them within my heart and just allow that wisdom to digest in its own time. Or even if I'm in a dark place and I have a book in my hands, I can still sense out what the writing looks like. It looks like it was perfectly typed with an old typewriter. Well, it looks like, runes, or it looks like Old English, or it's a journal of some kind. Or it looks very old and some of the pages are yellowed. Even in the dark, you can still see what the book looks like. Now, being able to read it, I've never been able to read any book I've ever been handed in the spirit realm. So I just let that go, and I'm okay with that. And sometimes the way the book looks can share a few bits of information, but in the end, it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to just take the book and turn it into energy and then just place it in your heart and say, I'll understand it in time. And say, thank you for that. I guess that's all I needed in the dark today. Just needed to make a couch. I needed somebody to just hand me a book, I guess. And I need to take the time to make sense of this, put it in my heart, and I guess that's it. So you just go with it. That's what you do. All right, I hope you enjoyed this experience. I hope it gives you access to some details, gives you access to how psychic senses actually work, how you feel things, how you see things, how you translate information from the spirit realm, how you get to know your higher self, what your higher self looks like or sounds like, what your higher self feels like, what your ego is like, how to work in balance with your ego. If you ever feel wound up, if you ever feel pissed off, if you ever feel fearful, you need to go into a room of white or dark or red or who knows whatever color, or just a room in your mind, and see ego, just maybe it just looks like a form, and go give your ego a hug. Say, I don't want to be afraid anymore. And just hug each other. Because egos need hugs too, just like you. And when you embrace your ego and you both can start working together, it's going to make all the difference in every part of your life, and it's going to help on your psychic development journey. Because ego is afraid of expanding beyond the known senses. It's afraid of the unknown. Ego is, because it can't protect you if it doesn't know what it's getting itself into. And so it's going to try to stop you. It's going to try to confuse you. It's going to try to tell you it has to be this way, and now your third eye is blocked. It's going to do all of these manipulative things, but it's only doing it because it loves you. And it's just trying to keep you safe. So which part of you is ego and which part of you is not ego? Because in the end, you're really just energy. You're really just consciousness. And you're working with something material here. And you got to work with it. And when you tell ego, I'm okay not knowing, and I know that you're wise enough, ego, that anything that happens in the next step of this, that you're going to be able to help me figure out what we can do to keep this a safe experience. Ego is going to say, wow, you care? You care about making it a safe experience? Whoa. Okay, well then, all right, what are you wanting to experience? And let's work together to take that next step. It's a cool thing to do. Okay. Thank you for joining me in this experience. If any of you are interested in connecting with me one-on-one for a psychic session, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all a wonderful day.